I am super nervous about the whole vaccine in general because there hasn't been long-term trials put out on this. I mean, we've literally been dealing with the coronavirus for less than 1 year, and now we've got a vaccine that has not had long-term human trials done on it, which, honest to goodness, really does make me nervous. This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Ewell. Hey, listen, if this podcast was useful to you at all, I really highly suggest that you go check out the full trading course at AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com. Hey, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we give you more tools, tips, and tricks to help you trade faster and trade smarter every single week. All right. So still trying to figure this out, but like I say, we are trying some new things. And do me a favor real quick. If you are on the stream, hit the thumbs up button. That way I can know that you are here. And do me a favor real quick. Comment with hashtag 10-minute traders. That way I can see that you are here and part of the community. And if you're watching this on the replay, hit hashtag team replay. That way we can be sure to keep track of everybody and to obviously help out with the almighty algorithms, because the more engagement we get with these, the further it goes. Now, with all that said, thank you for joining us for the 10-Minute Stock Trader Live podcast. Now, today we're going to be discussing today's markets and giving you some more tools, tips, and tricks to help you trade faster and trade smarter. Now, first news story that came up today, which I got here on the screen, the UK becomes the first country to authorize the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for emergency use. And I mean, the headline just says it all right there. The UK is going to be the first country to bring out the vaccine. That's really exciting. Has a 95% protection against COVID-19. But I got to tell you, first, I'm a little bit nervous because I had been seeing different news sites saying that there are 10 to 15% now. Obviously, don't quote me on this, but it's just something I had seen. 10 to 15% of the recipients of the vaccine were seeing increased levels of side effects, which kind of makes me nervous. But then at the same time, right, I was telling my wife this the other day, I am super nervous about the whole vaccine in general because there hasn't been long-term trials put out on this. I mean, we've literally been dealing with the coronavirus for less than 1 year. And now we've got a vaccine that has not had long-term human trials done on it, which, honest to goodness, really does make me nervous. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I am concerned about what are the side effects and the adverse reactions to this vaccine that we are pumping or hoping to pump into everyone's body to make the population immune from it. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about stocks. So Pfizer, let's take a look for Pfizer real quick. Hey, before we get started, if you want to discover the 5 fast and easy steps that we use every day for trading with artificial intelligence, make sure you head on over to AIStockTradingSystem.com. Now, let's go through the latest on Pfizer. In fact, let's pull up. So this is Pfizer on Yahoo Finance. And one thing I really like about this is, Yahoo Finance makes it actually really simple to find some things all in one place, right? You got your news, right? All the stories there. But what is really helpful to me is you can come over to Profile, and then right here it tells you the sector it's in. Now we're going to come back to that sector in just a moment, which is why I have it up here. But looking at Pfizer, jeepers creepers, I tell you, it's up 3.3% today. But with that being said, this is not a stock that I would be interested in trading. And here's the reason why. First off, it's got a lot of media attention. And media attention can be good, but can also be detrimental. Because the more attention that something gets, the more people are watching it, the more excited the market can get up and down. As you can see clearly here on the chart, the more excited the market can get up and down. Hang on, I'm trying to draw a square. I mean, we got a range of 14% up and down in the span of a week. That's not the kind of trading I like to make. I like to make nice, smooth, easy trades where it's like on a nice trend up or a nice trend down. I don't want to be involved in something that's basically a horseshoe shape right there. That's not something where you're going to find me. But with that said, let's take that information we had from Yahoo Finance, which was the healthcare sector, and let's go to FinClub, which is where we get the artificial intelligence data. And remember, the sector was healthcare. So let's dive into FinClub. Go to Momentum here. And then look at the healthcare sector. And it'll show you right there that it has actually had some weakness, which is interesting because these particular stocks have had a lot of strength. And maybe it's only concentrated in those stocks. But the sector as a whole is starting to creep back up. Now, the way you want to read this chart is whenever it's starting to move, like from the higher sector to the lower sector, that's kind of like your indicator to say, oh, maybe it's time to take profits. Or like this here, whenever it's moving from the lower sector to the higher sector, oh, hey, maybe it's time to go long. And then you can also think of it too, like as overbought and oversold, right? Like when it's hanging out in the tops for a while, when it's flatlined, that's not an indication that it has a lot of strength, but an indication of it might be reversing soon, right? Like, for example, let's see. I mean, yeah, this is a great example. It moved very quickly from the bottom straight up, which is a sign that you want to get in. Well, obviously take everything with a grain of salt. But that's what the AI data is saying, that it's strong. But in addition to that, it held flat for a good while after that, for like a whole month. And then you can see that it lost a lot of strength afterward. So the AI data right now, it's starting to pick up, which is a good sign. So maybe this is something you would want to be looking at going long. I mean, it's just a point of interest. It's not saying that it is or isn't, but it is a point of interest that might be interesting to look at. Now, let's go back to our homepage here. And let's take a look at the markets overall, SPY. So the market is up just a smidge on the day. In fact, let me zoom in. That's how smidge it is on the day. So it closed here and it's right here, right? I mean, it's 14 basis points different. Basically, it's flat on the day. And you can see that it's been flat over the last couple days. But what is interesting to note is that the artificial intelligence stock picks all failed. Now, that's really important because when things are failing, that's obviously not a time to get in and go long. And what's really cool about this is it comes on before the market opens. So, I mean, on a green day, this says, what does it say exactly? I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's like strong upward momentum. It may accelerate the target prices getting hit. So that's just something to keep in mind. Today was a red day, and as you can see, it's pretty much flat, which if you are going long stocks on a red day, that can really work against you, which is why this is super, super useful. Now, let's take a look at the macro momentum for the momentum. There we are. Okay, actually, this is pretty interesting. So it has been trending down on the macro momentum. And in fact, it's actually breaking down into the, it's in the 50s now. Interesting. Okay. So now it's not a time that this guy would be looking to go long for reasons shown on the screen. I mean, the market in general is losing strength. It's hitting this neutral curve here. Plus, like I said, go back to the momentum tab here. You can actually see that it's starting to lose a lot of strength. So even though it's hitting new all-time highs, it's losing strength. Might be something you want to consider. Okay, so let's see. So I have a list of things that I want to cover here, which is actually making this a lot easier for me to keep track. All right, now let's talk about the top 3 picks for the day. Go back over here. And this is why I love doing this and love sharing this with you, right? Because now you can take this information and maybe you can make some informed choices on your own. And honestly, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that Wall Street has had for decades. And now, I mean, you've got access to the kind of information that the algorithms are using. So take it as you may. But let's look at POWI. I have no idea what that is. Pulled it up here. Power integrations. Okay, so this has had some strength on the day. In fact, let's go to the POWI chart here. It's up 1.22%. What is it currently at right now? 73.96. Hey, look at that. It actually hit FinClub's target price, which is cool. Even it was a fail on the day, it still hit FinClub's target price. That's pretty neat. So now let's go to the sector is technology. And what's really cool about this is you can actually filter on what the sectors are, and it'll show you all those stocks in that sector, right? Yeah, that's really cool to me. Anyway, so POWI. And the momentum indicator for technology. It's probably going to be like the market if I had to guess. Yeah, it's starting to trend down. It's not as low as the market. It was in the 50s. Now this is at 66. But still trending down. So the market itself, information technology, is not showing a lot of strength. Let's go to the next pick here. Pool. I don't know what they make, but they should be in the pool business. Pool Corporation. All right, it's down 3.98% of the day. Now, this is really, really key here. I mean, when you have this kind of AI information, I mean, anybody can be a profitable trader once you understand how to use this, which is part of the reason why I'm doing these demos here. You can look at the pool, and maybe you were like, oh, I want to go long pool this morning. Maybe that's on your stock watch list, right? And the next thing you know, oh snap, it's down 4%. And even though it did make the list here, it obviously failed. And had you been long pool, you would have been hurting with this 3.95% down. But if you had had access to this data, you would have known not to go long pool, and that would have helped a lot. Now, let's go to the final stock, SNPs. What is SNPs? Synopsys Inc. Synopsys? Yeah, I guess so. It's not how you spell synopsis, though. Anyway, it's down nearly 2% on the day. Let's take a look at its profile. Oh, it's also in technology. So as you saw, technology has a lot of weakness. And honestly, like for me, trading with the AI data just makes things so much easier, as you can tell. I mean, it's like they hand everything to you on a silver platter. But still, SNP's target price was $232. We did not hit that. In fact, we were down $4. But that's why it failed. I mean, the first two of these that I've done so far have been red days, and red days meaning that everything failed. But I promise you, one day we're gonna have a green day, and I'll be able to show you at what time they're hitting the FinClub picks. So yeah, SNPs has been on a nice little upward move lately, upward little trend, but it did fail today, and because of that, you know, if you had been aware of this information ahead of time, you wouldn't have had to worry about being long on SNPs. So with all that being said, if this information was useful to you, make sure you hit that like button. Definitely do leave the comment below to tell me when you watch this, either hashtag 10-minute traders that you were watching it live, or hashtag team replay, so I can keep track of who's watching it when. And listen, I really appreciate you tuning in for today's episode and doing those things. If you were not able to make this, make sure you hit the notification button so that you can tune in and get this information in real time. Otherwise, make sure you head on over to the AIStockTradingSystem.com website. And there you can get all the training and software that you'll need to get started with trading with artificial intelligence stock picks. Listen, and you can get it before the market opens tomorrow, which will make your life a lot easier, because then you'll have everything that I've got here. So listen, thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, so what'd you think? That was pretty incredible, right? Now, if you like that, that's only a taste, only a sample of what you're going to find in the full AI stock trading system. And I really highly encourage you to go and check this out. Obviously, you are interested in learning on how to trade, and that's why you're listening to this podcast. Now, I'm going to take and download my entire trading system that I use day in and day out onto you. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is over at the AIStockTradingSystem.com. You're going to get phase 1, 2, and 3, several bonuses, and on top of that, I'm going to walk you through over a dozen trades that I put on inside of my account, holding your hand and showing you exactly how I got in, how I got out, how I use the artificial intelligence data and how this could work inside of your own trading portfolio on a daily basis. So make sure you head on over to AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com to learn more and to get started and to download my decade plus worth of trading experience into your hands so you can start using the AI stock trading system today, the 5-step system to take the guesswork out of trading. Hey, if you like this video, let me know by leaving me a like below, and then subscribe and share it with somebody you think could use it as well. Be sure to comment below with your biggest takeaway from this episode and any suggestions you have for future episodes. And finally, make sure you watch these other videos to help you trade faster and trade smarter, and I'll see you on the next episode.